see what we're doing. There, that's what we're doing. Okay guys, welcome back to Robert's Co. Welcome back to London, another live jewellery making session. We're making some silver wire. This is, I'm going to call this done now actually. We just need to anneal this. So melted some silver, poured it into an ingot, pinned it, put it through the rolling mills. The ingots start off about 7 or 8 mils, so they're not quite square, they come out rectangular. Put it through the square holes on one of our rolling mills, took it down to probably about 4 mil. Then started putting it, we need 3 mil wire, that's what the destination is. Then started putting it through. Once it got down small enough to go through this round draw plate, started drawing it out on our draw bench. I can't remember where we started, somewhere up here, the mid-teens, and this has got 31 holes on it, so in theory hole 31 is 3 mil, but I'm going to hole 30 because I'm going to call it a day there, because this is a bit over, it's just a fraction of a millimetre over. See there, it's 3.3, it's sort of between 3.1 and 3.2, depending on, I mean there it's 3 mil, but 3.2, 3.1, and that's possibly a bit to do with where we're measuring it, and 3.03, I think 3.01, so I'm going to call that done, because I think if we go to the next hole, it'll be slightly below 3 mil. But even if it is exactly 3 mil, which I don't think it will be, I think it will be below, at least having it a fraction of a mil above gives us some scope for polishing. So yeah, I'm going to get this up to a dull red, and then I've been experimenting with this thing I've coined dry quenching, where instead of quenching the wire in water or alcohol, we stick it on the steel block, which is a heat sink, and that sort of cools it quicker than it's still air cooling, but it's cooling quicker than it would if we were just to leave it. Certainly if we were to leave it just sat in there, because the blocks take up a lot of the heat. And reflect it back. So yeah, we're just cooling it slightly more rapidly than air cooling, but not sort of a halfway between. We're not cooling it as quickly as if you were to put it in liquid. And so far, so good. This should, once it starts to get up to temperature, it's sort of springy. There's a lot of tension in it right now, and that's what's holding it up. As this gets up to temperature, which will take a little while, once this gets up to annealing temperature and the tension starts to come out of the wire, it should hopefully collapse down towards the board, which speeds up the heating process. Right, it's starting to get up to a dull red, starting to get up to the colour we want. It's starting to collapse down towards the board. Once it does collapse down, it's slightly quicker to heat it up. But also the fact that it's collapsing down to towards the board is a sign that it's softening and the tension's coming out of it. Don't annealing, just keep working it and working and working. Eventually it gets so hard that it starts to crack and splinter. So you have to do this at the rolling mills, through the rolling mills, you get a lot further through the rolling mills. It's good to get as close, pretty close to your destination size as you can, because you can roll out, you can move the metal a lot more with rollers, it seems, than you can with draw plates. It seems the draw plates harden the wire, seem to work harden the wire far quicker in terms of incremental sizing decreases than rolling. So we have got massive draw plates. I could, in theory, use draw plates to go all the way from 7 or 8 mil down to the 3 mil. But it would take forever, because every 2 or 3 holes that you go through, which is on 0.2 or 3 of a mil, you've got to anneal it. Whereas with the rolling mills, you can go about 0.4, 0.5 mil at a time. Right, I think that is hot enough. Once the colour comes out of that a little bit, transfer it over to the steel block. It's nice and cool, and that'll suck the still hot. But yeah, it'll just cool it quicker on the steel block as a heat sink than leaving it on that block, which is reflecting quite a lot of heat. But yeah, that is how you anneal sterling silver. And that wire, 3 mil, is what we were aiming for. So yeah, that 3 mil round wire, I think it's about 40-50 grams, so it's probably about ½ a metre long. Once it's unravelled, that's ready to use. Right, see you in the next one. Toodles.